All right, so this is literally my first go flying this drone. I basically was driving down the highway here and I saw this. I mean, look at this. So I'm just gonna give it a fly and hope I've set everything up correctly. It is predictably ridiculously gorgeous out here.
The Air 3 is DJI's latest drone in their advanced tier. It's harder, better, faster, and stronger across the board compared to previous Air models, with heaps of new software features, omnidirectional sensors, and the latest smart controller thrown in. But the main and most exciting new thing is the inclusion of the 70mm 3x telephoto zoom, which is the very same lens and sensor found on the flagship tier Mavic 3 Pro. Very cool. The sensor size of the main 24mm lens is actually smaller than the DJI Air 2S, but as you can see, the 48 megapixel 1 1/3 lens is still very capable of capturing incredible detail. When I first started flying drones back in 2017 with the original Mavic, there was like 1 or 2 prosumer drones to pick from. It was pretty straightforward, but this is like the 11th consumer drone DJI have released since 2020, so it's increasingly confusing just which drone is best for who. So my biggest question is, who is this for? Beginners? Pros? Somewhere in between? I've driven to Clare Valley, just north of Adelaide in South Australia, to fly it around the countryside and work it out for myself.
It is. I like this drone. So it's about 6:30 in the morning. I've come to a place called Pink Lake because apparently it's a pink lake. And you know, that's a cool thing to fly drones at, right? I have no idea if it's that pink. It doesn't look that pink to me, but hey, I needed something to fly a drone at this morning, and I was excited to fly it over a body of water instead of canola fields and wineries. The only problem is today is the first day that the clouds have rolled in and the sun isn't going to come up at 6:41 as it's meant to. So I might be here for a little while. So while we wait, some first impressions. Look, there's a reason why DJI are the kings of drones. If you've ever used one of their drones before, you'll instantly be able to pick up and play with it. As always, tight controls, very customizable controls. Look, the main thing I'm most impressed about are the batteries. These have lasted a seriously long time. I've got the 3 from the Fly More kit. It kind of feels like I've been able to get 2 trips out of each battery. That is kind of unheard of on most of other DJI's products. So yeah, this drone really, I think, has nailed the right amount of distance you can get out of one of these. Comparing it to the Air 2, which I've also got back at home, this is a huge improvement. Honestly, it feels like it's closer to the Mavic Pro 3 than anything the Air 2 was doing. The picture quality seems to be better. It's got the 2 cameras. It has a way better flight time. This thing is doing a pretty good job so far. They got a Loch Ness monster here though. Do you want to see that? Oh, actually, look, the sunrise is actually happening. This could turn out better than I thought. The sensors won't let me fly through the Loch Ness monster, and I think that is very wise. Thank you for saving me, DJI.
Yeah, the omnidirectional sensor on this was very good, giving me alerts when things got within a few meters in every possible direction. It can be a little much at times, like when I tried to fly through some trees.
We're attempting to fly this through that.
But there are options to lower the sensitivity or turn them off completely. But this has been loaned out to me by DJI. I'm not taking any risks with this one. This also gets Active Track 5.0 and waypoints, which were both previously only available on the Mavic 3 series. Both of these pretty awesome bits of software bring it closer to that line in terms of professional function. Automating drone movement can be very handy if you're trying to nail a particular shot. I also played with master shots on the lake. This feature is only available on the latest drones in each class, but it essentially takes a bunch of dynamic shots for you, then cuts them together into a fun little video.
So if I select old Nessie here, it says it's going to take 2 minutes to do the flight. All right, hit start. 3, 2, 1. Now it's going to get a bunch of shots of the Loch Ness monster. How cool is that? It can roll? I'm learning so much about this thing. Oh, look, I'll probably never use this feature again, but that was pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. And now I know the names of some shots, and I've got some ideas, so thank you. I'm gonna try and do them myself. So I'm back in Melbourne. I've been going through the footage. I'm really happy with what I've captured so far, especially this footage of 2 kangaroos that were punching on at a winery. Thank you to the 3x lens for gifting me with this. It's a really good drone. What else can I say? Like, the range is really good. The only time I really had issues with was when it dropped down into valleys or got behind hills, but that's kind of to be expected. I really pushed it when I was on the lake. Should I push it? I've got 52% battery left. Let's push it. I got it to about 3 kilometers, but then I started to get the battery warning and I didn't want to push it any further, so I quickly brought it back. Yeah, this is where I start to worry. We're on, what, 28% battery. Still 2 kilometers away. This is how I lost my last drone, flying over water. Honestly, it feels like if you have a good line of sight, you could go for kilometers, but you shouldn't be doing that anyway, legally. So let's just say I left it at 3 kilometers and leave it at that. Oh, 9%. Okay, we know how much the battery can be pushed now. With the photos, if you zoom into these even a little bit, yeah, you can see there's a fair bit of grain and it's not particularly heaps of detail there. So despite that 48 megapixel sensor, I wouldn't be cropping into these too much if I can help it. But hey, I reckon if you mostly shoot RAW, do a bit of editing in your post-processor of choice, you'll be able to capture pics you can be proud of. With video, I did notice this only has D-Log M and not the original D-Log. D-Log is DJI's flattest picture profile with high dynamic range, while D-Log M has more color and contrast baked in. Personally, I don't think that's a really big issue unless you're a color nut and just really like color grading, or you're wanting to use this for real professional video work that might require a color grade. But from the footage I captured, even the auto stuff, the colors are pretty much just fine. I'm pretty happy to rely on DJI's own color science most of the time. Honestly, if it is just for having fun or posting to social media, you don't have to worry about this at all. The footage out of this, as we've seen, is pretty great. So overall, incredible drone. I've got nothing bad to say about it, honestly. It is just at the absolute peak of what DJI can do for consumer drones right now. I kind of felt like I was just flying my Mavic 3 Pro around minus the 7x lens. So yeah, I kind of just want to see exactly how close they are in terms of quality. So I'm gonna go out east. I'm gonna take him to a lake, fly that around, and see what sort of stuff I can capture with both. And maybe we'll work out exactly who should be buying this drone, and if you even need the Mavic 3 Pro anymore, when so many of its features are in this much cheaper drone. Well, I drove all the way out here. I stayed overnight. I got up very early to drive to the top of this mountain. I wanted to take beautiful sweeping shots of the lake below, but once again, the weather does not give a fuck what I want. It is so foggy down there. You can see the moon. You can see everything up here. It's beautiful. But if you get any lower down in altitude, you're just in Fog City. I'm still going to put the drone up, but my hopes aren't high for a beautiful sweeping vistas of the lake below, which is a real bummer because I was looking forward to this. Let's see what I can get. Go 16. All right, there he is. Whoa. All right, it still looks very cool. that was actually way more majestic than a stinky old lake. Like, look at those clouds, amazing. I'm gonna put up the Mavic 3 Pro for a sec and just kind of show the difference between the main lens, this larger sensor by Hasselblad, and the one on the Air 3. You can hear how much heavier it is as well. One more drone that I want to fly. It's the Mavic Air 2. I just kind of want to see just how much the sensors improved over the previous model. Obviously the Air 2S came out in between these two, and that had a much better sensor than this, and even the Air 3. This is a 1/2-inch sensor, but like I still managed to get good shots with this as recently as what, April? Like I flew this around New Zealand. It still looks good. I'm keen to see if this still holds up. I think it's going to. Let's go. Yeah, okay, after flying the Mavic 3 Pro and the Air 3, it's immediately noticeable, the jumping quality. Still, when you're looking at something this gorgeous, it doesn't matter as much. It kind of comes down to the details that you want. I think it's safe to say I am not going to be seeing the, the lake this morning. The cloud is rolling in even more. So I guess it's time to head down and take a look at the pics. All right, I'm home now, clearly. I've gone through the footage. I'm very happy with what I captured in the morning up amongst the clouds on the top of the mountain. It was a beautiful morning, but you'll be happy to know I did eventually see the lake as well. I did wait around all day, but by sundown, the clouds and the fog had cleared and I could see down into a beautiful aerial view of the lake below, and it was freaking majestic. I loved it. Yeah, it was a very successful weekend. I had a great time, and it confirmed a couple of things for me. The main thing being the DJI Air 3 is one of the best drones they've ever made for people of all skill levels. It's really good for beginners, all the way up to amateurs, semi-pros, and even professionals. Like, this thing does 90% of what the Mavic 3 Pro can do, and at what, almost half the price? It kind of reminds me of what I reviewed the other week, the Fujifilm X-S20. That was a mid-range crop sensor mirrorless camera, and that kind of has all the flagship features minus a couple of the real big ones. 90% of what that does is what the flagships can do as well. This does similar things in the drone space. It's perfect to get started with because it has really solid object detection, that intuitive controller, heaps of smart modes that help teach you what it's capable of, multiple lenses. Man, by the way, just side note, I love how much parallax you get from the 3x lens. And then when you want to get a bit more hands-on, it's there for you with D-Log-M and all the pro settings. Then if you really feel like you need the extra 7x zoom lens or D-Log for color grading, or that little bump in quality that the Hasselblad main wide lens gives you, then the Mavic 3 Pro is there for you, and you can commit to buying something that is almost double the price of something that's already pretty amazing. Yeah, overall, if you don't already own a DJI drone with a 3 in its name, you're looking to start or you're looking to upgrade, this is the one to look at first, and then decide if you need to go down a tier to the Mini, or if you really need to double the price and go with the Mavic 3 Pro. This one sits right in the middle, and yeah, it's pretty much perfect. Go buy it. Hey, we're back here again, just because I thought the light was cool. Yeah, look, this is just something I do for fun these days. Just spent the last few weeks flying the drone around at different places and having a blast, really. But I hope this video also brought you some value. And if it did, I would absolutely love if you hit subscribe. I'm not trying to be the biggest YouTuber in the world. I'm not trying to really make any money off this. I do this for fun. It's a hobby, and if I get sent cameras to play with, like the drone that I just used, then you know that makes it all worth it. So please hit subscribe. Even comment. Tell me if you enjoyed the drone footage or not. I would love that. Anyway, that's it. Hopefully see you in the next one. And if not, I'll see you around the internet. I'm sure I'll show up on your homepage now that you've watched one of my videos. I know how this works. Have a good day.